First question, is red or pink Starbursts?
Red.
I'm going to say red too.
All right. Yeah, definitely red.
Not a big fan of the pink. It's definitely my least favorite flavor out of the four
That's a
main
hot take.
flavors.
That is a hot take.
But,
Pink is like second place.
Ooh, okay. Questionable. That's another discussion for another time. Doritos or Cheetos?
Doritos.
I'm going to go with
Hands
Doritos too. Cool Ranch or Nacho Cheese Doritos?
See, on burgers, it's Cool Ranch, but overall, nacho cheese.
That's where we differ, my friend. I'm going with Cool Ranch.
All right, no, it's valid. It's good.
Next one is red or blue Gatorade.
I like blue.
I'm a big fan of blue.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a lot more blue flavored Gatorade, but we're talking about Glacier Freeze and Fruit Punch here.
Yeah.
And Glacier Freeze definitely tops
with
Fruit
Powerade,
Punch
it switches
in my
for me.
opinion. And that brings us to our next question: Gatorade or Powerade?
Oh well, Gatorade.
I'm gonna say
it
Gatorade
tastes
as
better,
well.
but Powerade's healthier.
Who wants healthy? Hockey or baseball?
Baseball, hands down.
Well, we all know I'm going to say hockey.
You got the baseball guy and the hockey guy.
We have to make sure that, Brendan and I don't give the same answers for every question.
Yeah.
Coke or Pepsi?
Ooh, Coke.
I'm going with Coke. They have
Yeah.
much better products, for
Yep.
sure. Obviously, Pepsi has a couple good ones, but
For the most part.
for the most part, it's Coke. Reese's or Kit Kat?
Reese's.
I'm going with Kit Kats.
That's valid. Kit Kats are really good, but
Kit Kats I can actually, eat in bulk. Reese's I get kind of sick of after, 3 or 4.
it depends if it's the cup, like the peanut butter cup. That's like a top candy.
I'm talking
In
basic.
history.
I'm talking basic Reese's cup and basic, the two
Kit
two
Kat.
stick of Kit Kats.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I get that.
these could also turn into all different discussions eventually. Andy's mints or York peppermint patties?
I go York. I love Yorks.
I like Yorks, but when you're out to eat at a restaurant and they have the Andy's mints instead of the peppermint little circles.
Coming out of a restaurant, I see where you're talking.
But in general, I'm gonna go with Yorks as well.
Yeah, great minds think alike.
Had to make it a tough one, and that's a tough one. You never know.
Yeah.
If the Andy's mints bars were bigger though, that there could be
Starts
a
the
discussion.
challenge.
Yeah. Ranch or blue cheese?
Oh, get out of here. It's blue cheese. There's some clowns on this station that vouch for ranch, but in every situation, I actually roll blue cheese, even on like salad and stuff.
Yeah, I like blue cheese. But when it comes to
buffalo chicken, like it's not even close.
Yeah, no question.
I
love a good celery stick with blue cheese too. Oh, so good. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yeah, I do it.
I say yes as well.
I mess with it.
I love it with bacon and jalapeno peppers too. Oh, so good.
Okay, no, I get that.
Biking or running?
Biking.
Biking.
Yeah, I'm not trying to bust my hip,
As long as you run the properly, you might not bust your hip. But I like biking for sure better. Football or basketball?
Basketball. It's close. Very close.
We all know my opinion on basketball, so I'm obviously saying football. But
I get that.
I knew that one was going to be tougher than the hockey or baseball. So
Yeah, that one was a lot closer.
Steph or LeBron?
Ooh, Curry. I go Curry, but only just because if LeBron didn't grow up in the Eastern Conference, then I wouldn't hate him as much. But it's personal between me and Braun, so
yeah,
I go Curry.
Also going with Curry on that one. Larry Bird or Magic Johnson?
That's Bird, hands down. Bird is a top 5 player in the history of basketball. Magic Johnson had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Not saying he's not one of the historical. I'm not taking anything away from Magic. Top point guard in the history of the league, but Larry was different. Larry played with a broken back, and he played with a broken hand. His shooting hand was broken, and he played with his left hand. and still put up 30 points and won a game against the Detroit Pistons. So,
yeah, I don't know if any of you out there watched that show Winning Time on HBO. I watched it, and it gives you a whole nother perspective on the Magic Larry argument. But I'm gonna have to. I'm not saying because I'm a Boston fan, but I'm just saying as a spectator to that show, because I didn't grow up in that era. But just like his playing style and his attitude towards the game, I'm gonna have to go with Larry Bird as well.
Players today will take a month off with knee soreness, and Larry would play with a broken back. Just to put it in perspective.
Larry Bird probably could have played hockey if he wanted to. Honestly.
Yeah. Dog.
Absolute dog. The original 33.
For real.
All right. Guac or salsa?
Guac. It's close, but I like guac a lot. I mean, with chips, you definitely probably go with salsa. It's pretty situational. I think overall though, with a nice quesadilla or whatever you're putting in there, I like guac a lot.
See, I do like guac, but you have to pay that extra charge if you go to restaurants and stuff to get it. And salsa has all these different varieties. I'm gonna have to say on this, honestly, I'm gonna have to say salsa.
That's a valid take. It's a valid take, honestly.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say salsa. We're gonna have to disagree on that one. But I do like guac. I'm not saying guac's bad. Just in the situational piece in my mind, anyway.
Yeah.
Nomar or Jeter?
Nomar. Jeter. I mean, you got to give him his flowers. Like, good player. Had a lot built around him, of course, out there in the early 2000s. But, I mean, Nomar, what a player. Unfortunate the way it ended, of course. But, that was a home run move. I go with Nomar.
I am going to have to say Nomar. I have respect for Jeter, but just watching Nomar play was insane. Like just some of the stuff, some of the stuff he did. I mean, Jeter too. That's a completely different era of baseball. It's wild. But yeah, I mean, Nomar, he ended up getting his ring. Obviously, he didn't play with the team in the World Series, which is unfortunate, but he still ended up getting the ring.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard not to pick Nomar, being a Red Sox fan growing up during the prime of the rivalry. So yeah, Nomar. Ted Williams or Joe DiMaggio?
See, Ted Williams was not only one of the greatest, honestly, rivals with the greatest players of all time, but he was doing stuff off the field, in World War II and stuff, I go Ted Williams. Kid was a dog. Absolute beast. I go Ted.
Had to give some, rivalry questions in there, but obviously I'm going to have to go with Ted. Teddy Ball Game. There's, you really, there's no one else, honestly, out there. This one's going to be interesting. I think I already know what we're both going to say, but Roger Clemens or Pedro Martinez?
I mean, come on. The greatest single season in the history of pitching in baseball. Pedro was different. That's my guy.
All I got to say is, who's your daddy?
Right? Dude, when he took the Yankees pitching coach and threw him on the ground, you just knew he had that dog in him. Pedro was different.
One of my favorite memories of Pedro is that memory right there. Clemens pitched for the Red Sox though, and he did set the single game record for strikeouts. But I'm still gonna have to go with Pedro. Pedro had a personality. Clemens, betrayed us and went to the Yankees. He also did steroids. So
yeah.
But what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever. Fries or onion rings?
It depends on the fries. It's tough. Overall, I go fries, but it's really close. It's trying to pick between children, but at this point, I go fries just because they're more consistent. sometimes you get too much flake going on with onion rings. Sometimes you get too much drip with onion rings. Versus fries, most of the time you get a consistent fry that's really nice.
Yeah, it's tough when you got an onion ring and you're looking forward to it, and you go in for the bite and you pull the entire onion out of the breading.
Bread, yeah.
It's like, well, there goes that onion ring.
But its sealing is like onion
There's
rings.
so many things
top.
that you could do with onion rings that you already do with fries. And if someone figures out how to make a good onion ring and a good seasoning. My answer might change, but I'm gonna go with fries. It's so versatile. You could do curly, spicy, sweet potato,
cheese fries,
wedge, waffle, like so many things you could do with it.
Beer battered onion rings from Buffalo Wild Wings are killer.
Can't forget about the onion tower too from Bugaboo Creek. All right, next question: mozzarella sticks or fried pickles?
I go fried pickles. With the nice sriracha mayo. Oh, I love some fried pickles on there. But, it's, again, another close competition. Mozzarella sticks with that nice marinara. Another valid pick. But I go with the fried pickles.
I'm going to differ there. I'm going with mozzarella sticks. I'm a big fried pickle guy. But if they have mozzarella sticks on the menu along with fried pickles, I'm going to go with mozzarella sticks. I just love mozzarella sticks. The seasoning that they always put on mozzarella sticks is very good. I haven't had a mozzarella stick in a long time where I've taken a bite out of it and taken the whole stick of cheese out, which,
You've had a good experience.
I honestly, when I was a little younger, every single time I have a mozzarella stick, I would always have like one or two where the entire cheese stick came out. But, I kept my faith. I got my hopes up, and it finally paid off.
The industry turned it around.
Yeah, whatever happened, and whatever they did to change it, they did perfectly. I'm sticking with mozzarella sticks. All right, chicken or beef?
Like straight up or like on its own in a sandwich, like a roast beef sandwich or a chicken parm sub, something like that, or
chicken or beef? Take your pick.
See, this is really hard. Beef. I love beef. And I reward good beefs, and I also love chicken. But I feel like the ceiling on beef is just much higher, whereas chicken, the floor is definitely higher, but like chicken's more consistent, but beef can just send you to the moon sometimes. I go beef.
Fair. That's fair. See, that's what makes this question so hard. Is you can do so much with chicken, but you can also, on the other hand, do almost the same amount with beef. But you can't fry beef.
No, I get that. But
you can shred beef, you can grill beef, you can ground beef. You can ground chicken, you can grill chicken, you can shred chicken. You can't fry beef. I'm going to have to go with chicken. As long as you cook it right, that's the only downside of chicken. If you cook it wrong, then you're going to be in for a long night.
Yeah, you get some salmonella going.
But I'm going to stick with chicken.
All right.
Because I know how to cook my chicken. Ketchup or mustard?
It's mustard. If you asked me like 2-3 years ago, I'd be all in on ketchup, but ketchup, the more and more I realize there's only so much you can put it on, and it's always the same like taste that's really just more for a little bit of sauce, whereas mustard is a nice string punch and there's so many different varieties. You get some honey, you get some spicy, you get that normal Heinz, you throw it on
ground
sausage, hot dog, ham and cheese, anything you want. Throw some mustard on there. You can balance it out with a little bit of mayonnaise. Oh, I love some mustard. Ketchup, you don't really get that. It's like chicken fingers and burgers.
Yeah, you can't really mix ketchup with mayo. You can. I've never tried it, but I really don't think I'd be that big of a fan of it. I do like mustard and mayo mixed together. I have had that. I have tried that. And like Brendan said, you got so many varieties. You got stone ground, you got honey, you got spicy, you got there's just so many different varieties of mustard that you can have. Obviously, by the sounds of it, I'm going with mustard. I am going with mustard. I have to be in the mood for ketchup.